Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name's Bri. I love to paint furniture, go thrifting, garage sailing, and then I take those finds and I upcycle them into gorgeous home decor. Now today is episode 2 of my guest bedroom makeover on my Coming Home series. If you haven't seen the rest of that series, I'll link the playlist right here above for you. Now, I asked you guys, should I do DIY White Swan or Sweet Pickins milk paint on this furniture? And the votes were about 50-50. I am going to show you the winner. Are you ready? That's right, Sweet Pickins milk paint in creamy is the winner. I love the authentically chippy finish that milk paint gives. I don't have any white furniture in my house, and I am ready to have some beautiful chippy white furniture in this room. I've got quite the hodgepodge of decor going in here since I wasn't sure which direction I was really going to be going with this room. I also store some extra paper in this drawer, so I removed that, and we are going to begin by taking off the hardware. I've got the cleaner I always use. It's linked down below for you. I've got it mixed up here in this spray bottle. Let's give this piece a good clean. One of my favorite cleaning tools is the $1 bottle brush cleaner from the Dollar Tree. These little ends get in the nooks and crannies of this furniture just perfectly. Since this is such a shiny surface, I am going to do what's called a scuff sand. I've got 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to run it over the surface, scuffing up that shine, and that's all. I've showed you all how to mix up the milk paint before, but let's talk about it again. I'm going to be mixing it up 1 cup at a time. That'll be 1 cup of warm water and 1 cup of the milk paint powder. Your water is going to go in first, and then your powder. I've been using a hand mixer to mix my paint up. Mixing it up properly makes a big difference. After it's mixed, it's looking a little thin, but we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes and it should thicken up to a milkshake consistency. No matter what kind of cleaner you're using, always use a rag with plain water after your cleaner and give the whole piece a nice wipe down. That cleaner can leave residue that can react with your paint, especially milk paint. After about 10 minutes, the milk paint is looking thicker. It's time to add the bond. So I've got about 2 total cups of paint after the paint and the water's combined. The ratio of bond is 1 part paint to half part bond. If this is 2 cups, I should do a cup of this, but I'm a rebel, so we're gonna do about a half a cup. Bond is an additive that's going to help your paint adhere to your surface, especially since my piece is shiny. I've got my Klingon F30 and F50. Loving my Klingon brushes. They are synthetic brush and they are very easy to clean. The milk paint is trickier to get out of your brush than the DIY paint, so I have been thankful for these. Again, you can find all of the paint and products I'm using on my website, upcycledbybri.com. Your milk paint is going to be thinner than your traditional chalk paint. It will take a couple of coats to cover this, and you do need to be mindful of drips. I'm going to put on coat 2. I've mixed up a fresh batch of milk paint. I completely cleaned out this container and my brush so they didn't have any bond left on them. On your second and multiple coats of milk paint, you do not use extra bond. Here is where I started to get impatient. I wasn't seeing any crackling, so I grabbed out my heat gun and started to force some crackle. You can see when I blow the heat gun on the paint, it does start to chip and crackle, but I think I did a little bit much. So this is the next morning, and where I hit this piece hard with the heat gun, I got some big sheeting. This paint was coming off in layers. Now, I don't hate the look, but I'm still undecided whether I want to do something a little bit different with this piece. So y'all have to stay tuned for next week to see if I change it. Grabbing a towel here, and we are going to get off some of these big old flakes. After I sanded the entire piece down with 220 grit, it got off all the big flakes and worked this paint down to a smooth surface. Okay, what do y'all think? It's pretty bold. I grabbed my clear beeswax from the Sweet Pickins line. It is super creamy, just like the DIY paint, and I'm going to use a soft cloth to apply it to the surface. When you have a lot of chipping like this, you do not want to use a liquid top coat. That's going to reactivate the paint and cause even more chipping. We're going to put on some new hardware. I've got my favorite apothecary and cup pulls from Amazon. I can link them down below for you. I wanted to do something a little unique. I cut down these coffee sacks to size to fit onto the top of the nightstand. Then I cleaned the glass up real well with some Windex, and we are going to set the glass right on top of this coffee sack to give this nightstand a unique look. Let's take a look at the final result. This guy got chippy. Like I said, the heat gun really made some big chips on this. So when you come back next week, it may look a little different. I'm gonna hang out with it for a couple days and see if it grows on me, but I think I can make it even cooler. Leave me a comment below. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Is this look for you or not so much? If you guys like this nightstand and learned a little bit about milk paint, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and share this video with a friend who's been wondering about milk paint. I know it is getting more popular. Also, be sure to come back tomorrow. I've got an epic thrift haul. We are going to also do some thrift flips with products you've never seen me use before. So do not miss out. And until then, I will see y'all later. Bye, friends. Wow, that's right. Now, because this is such a shiny surface,